Okay, so let's do question number 1 on the worksheet. The question number 1, it gave you kilometers and hours, and you already probably calculated kilometers per hour. Well, let's say we need to calculate meters per second. So I have 12 kilometers, and 13 kilometers. Even better video. 13 kilometers, and I have 2 hours. Now, here's the story. My wife graduated from Mary Washington College, it was college at the time, with a sociology degree, which is completely useless, okay? Don't get a sociology degree. So what she had to do...
It's on video.
I know. She went back to be a nurse. Okay, so when she went back to school to be a nurse, one of the first things she had to do was pharmacology. And that's because as a nurse, you will be given, you'd be given a prescription. A doctor would say, I need 200 milligrams of this medicine given to that patient. So my wife will be given that prescription. Then she goes to the cabinet to get the medicine, and it's not going to be milligrams. Milligrams is mass. It would be volume. It would be liquid, and it would be, some solution. She'd have to know how many milliliters or cc's to give the patient in an IV. So this is where it was heavy, heavy math. And so she goes back to school, and the professor was just a nurse, and the professor would say, well, yeah, you just got to remember to multiply there and divide there and all that stuff. And I'm sure now that's all my wife does. However, in college, when you're trying to understand how to do it, that is impossible. Trying to remember, do I multiply here, divide here? So that's why I actually taught this to her on how to do it and work it out so you don't have to do it in your head. Okay, and that's what I'm going to stress to you. I'm never going to have you do it in your head. I'm never going to tell you, oh, just divide here, multiply there. All right? So let's just do it that way. I need to get from kilometers per hour to meters per second. So my end goal is meters per second over here. I am not going to deal with numbers at all until I have all the units done. So I'm just going to multiply until things cancel out, until I have what I need, and then come back and put numbers in. Trust me, it's a better way to go. So here we go. So I have kilometers I got to get rid of first. If I have kilometers on top, where do I put them over here? I'm multiplying over here. Where do I put them to cancel them out? On bottom. Kilometers on bottom. That's ugly, but that'll work. All right, I'm replacing them with meters because I got meters up there. Okay, so far so good. Yoink, yoink. All right, now I'm going to go and get rid of my hours. I'm going to put hours on top. Now, if you have memorized in your own head how many seconds are in an hour, go nuts. You can go from hours to seconds. However, most people haven't. So I'm going to go from hours to minutes. And then I'm going to go from minutes to seconds. So again, let me get rid of my hours. Yoink, yoink. I have minutes now I got to get rid of. What am I going to do to get rid of minutes? Put them on top. And replace them with what? Seconds. Yoink, yoink. So I'm just killing the units. I mean, it's almost like a puzzle. I got to get rid of this. Oh, I can get rid of this by going to that and all that. Okay, now I go back and I'm going to do numbers. And for my numbers, the first thing I do is just say, what's bigger? What's bigger, a kilometer or a meter? A kilometer is bigger. And I can then say, all right, how many meters? And I understand some people don't memorize this. There's 1,000 kilometers a meter. Okay, so 1,000 kilometers a meter. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. We'll fix that in editing. All right, there's 1,000 meters in a kilometer. I'm not going to fix it in editing. All right. Next, what's bigger, an hour or a minute? So I put a 1 next to hour. How many minutes in an hour? 60. Last, what's bigger, a minute or a second? Replace it with 60. That's how I will always set up unit conversion. Because that means I don't have to remember that. Okay? Now when I do that, let's look at the units. Units, all I have are meters on top. Yep. All I have are seconds on bottom. Good. Okay, now the last step is going to be this, and this is a little shortcut for you for calculating. I only want to hit enter once per problem. And it seems like something dumb, but what I'm saying is this. If every time I hit enter, I might put in a number wrong and mess up. So I'd rather put it all in one line on my calculator. So what I can do is anything on top multiply, anything on bottom divide. So I would put in my calculator 13 times 1,000. I could do times 1 times 1, but we know we don't need to do that. So get rid of the times there. So 13 times 1,000, and then anything on bottom divided by 2, divided by 60, divided by 60. Okay? Just all one line of calculator. And then you plug and chug and get your answer. Fair enough?